But today's focus, most importantly, focusing on ornamental birds. You're asking yourself, what are these? Ornamental birds, and Mwalimu will be telling us more away from the traditional na ile ilikuwa tumezoea ya broilers na layers ya kuku for the chicken. We now focus on other kind of birds. Mwalimu, very good morning to you.
Well, yeah.
So first off, where are we at this place?
Right now we are studying in Agitech Seedlings Birds Sanctuary.
Okay.
And it's a very interesting unit because you find that we have got different types of birds. You may say wild birds because people are not used to what you can see here.
Yes.
They are used to seeing broilers. They are used to see layers.
Yes.
They are used to see kienyeji chicken.
Yes.
But in Agitech, we found it a need to introduce other varieties or other species of birds so that people can get varieties.
Right.
We believe in diversification.
Okay.
So this is a complementary unit whereby we realized people from the rural areas take a very long journey to Nairobi National Park to see some of these birds.
Yes.
So we shortened the distance. We brought the Nairobi National Park to Agitech Seedlings so that the school-going children will have ample time to come and explore what we have in the zoos.
Yes.
So we came up with an elaborate unit whereby we decided to domesticate, of course, with the authority from Kenya Wildlife Service, because you cannot have such a unit if you don't have a license from KWS, because some of the birds here are wild, others are domestic, but we ensured that we are given an okay, so that when you are here, you are safe. So we have kept on collecting. This unit is not more than 1 year old.
Okay.
And we are expanding, as you can see.
What's the response from the public, people who come, you tell them about this ornamental birds? What is their response?
Actually, at Agitech Seedlings, we started a unit called agritourism.
Okay.
When you come here, you see different types. What you see in the national parks, you see different types of animals. So when you come to Agitech, basically it was a seedlings producing company. At Agitech, we can also sell because we are authorized to do so. So we keep them for breeding. We also keep birds. Ornamental birds mainly are kept for beauty. You make your home very beautiful when you have this kind of a scenario. Others keep them for the meat. The game meat is very sweet. So these birds you can slaughter and have white meat.
Right.
So others are keeping them purposely for production. Yeah.
Let's start now with the first bird at the very far end. The Americans love this particular bird, particularly this holiday season for the Thanksgiving ceremony. The turkey. It's one inaweza kushtua, by the way, hata ukiona ikitembea, by the size of it. Explain to us how you breed a turkey, because I mean there are families who've domesticated turkeys.
Turkeys are normally kept for beauty, at the same time for their good meat, as you have mentioned. Yes. They are also kept for eggs. Okay. So, like in the first cage you have seen, we have some turkeys. Yes. So there we usually allow them to mate naturally so that they can lay eggs. Then the eggs we incubate, they hatch into chicks. We sell the chicks to whoever is interested. But the turkey meat is ceremonial, at the same time medicinal. So it is very good white meat. Right. That is why it is very highly valued. And when it comes to those ceremonies, there are those cultures in the world that they cannot do without turkey meat in their ceremonies. So it is highly sought. And it is also almost becoming extinct. Okay. Yeah.
You mentioned medicinal, and that is one place that you'd really capture so many people. In your knowledge, what kind of ailments can the turkey meat help?
It depends on, it has got the meat the meat itself has got different contents, medicinal contents, like the sources of vitamins, the fat-soluble vitamins, ADEK, A, D, E, and K. It is very rich in those vitamins, the meat. Then it is white, so it doesn't have a lot of uric acid that causes gout. That is why many people would prefer to take it other than the red meat.
To get to here,
Yeah.
okay. I think even as you continue, you're going to be hearing a lot of that.
That is why we are in the birds sanctuary.
The bird
You
sanctuary,
expect them to make noise.
Yes.
And some of them are very irritated by the presence of strangers.
Okay.
So they will chase away by producing that noise.
All right.
Yeah.
So back to my question. We hear that for the layers, the broilers and layers, maybe 12 eggs when they're hatching. Ile kienyeji.
Yeah, kienyeji, you usually incubate around 10 to 15.
10 to 15.
10 to 15. But a duck will do 20, 30.
Wow.
Yes. That is why it is important. Many farmers find it important to mix, because he will get his 8 from a croira or a kienyeji, and then the rest from the duck. So the duck will take care of all, irrespective of how they hatch. Yeah, they are not discriminative. Yes.
Mwalimu, I want us to remain on the ducks a little bit, because one, they're very common in different parts of the country, and as you're saying, many farmers tend to mix them with chicken, the layers and broilers. When you look at the diseases that attack the chicken, are they the same that also attack ducks? Speak on the immunity system of a duck compared to a chicken.
I think the diseases are the same, but the ducks are more resistant than the other poultry. Yes, considering the nature of the bile, like very cold areas. Most birds.
So limuru
even during the cold season, you find even the wild birds, they will spend most of their time inside the nests. Yeah, they will only come out when they see some sun. Yeah, so cold areas are not very susceptible for birds.
Right. So that's the second cage where the duck's family is.
You find that even in Europe, when it is very cold, some birds migrate to Africa, which is a bit warm.
Interesting. All right. So now the third cage, what do we have?
The third cage, we have the Brahmas. Brahma bantams, the Sioke bantams, and we have the Polish bantams. Then up there we have a zebrite. Zebrite is a small bird that has colors of a zebra. And again, it's also a very good mother. And she lays very big, despite the size, she lays very big eggs. But she is very beautiful and attractive. So we usually keep it for aesthetic purposes, the beauty element. Then behind the turkeys, we also left the peacocks.
Oh yes, now
we also have pairs of peacocks, and a peacock is another funny bird because the male is very beautiful compared to the female, and it has a way of attracting the female by opening the tail. The tail can move even as far as 1 meter wide.
We get to see peacocks when you visit some leisure places. Does this mean that this is a wild bird and should not be domesticated?
It's a wild bird. A peacock is a wild bird, but we are domesticating it these days. Because
yeah, you say it's a wild bird, but I mean, I'm a farmer and I'm looking at this wild bird, and I really want to have it at my place. So I go to KWS and I get the appropriate licenses. What do I need to know as a farmer so that I domesticate it? And case in point, I also have other birds.
You must know habitual behaviors of all birds, the habitual behaviors, because we need to take care of it. Remember, you are trying to domesticate. It is not in the wild. So if you don't understand how it behaves, it will give you some challenges. And again, it is also endangered. It's an endangered bird because it is normally hunted because of the tail feathers. There are people who poach the tail feathers for to go and make some aesthetic implements. So sometimes you find that the peacocks are almost becoming extinct. And when it comes to mating, the mating procedure for the peacock is different from other birds. Because as it dances the zigzag to attract the female, it will mount once. Once it gets out off with the business, the female will start laying eggs. During that period when the female is laying eggs, the male is shedding off the tail wings. When it incubates until the chicks hatch, that is when now the tail will start regenerating. Because it's like it fights, it's of no use. You know, the tail is used to attract the female. And now the female has hibernated to incubate.
So inaona kuna kazi ya.
Inaona kama kazi yake imeisha.
Na ukisha hatch ndio
it starts now shedding off.
Nikule nione venye inaonja.
Sasa, how do you eat the egg? The egg I will sell you at maybe 100 shillings. But the mother will sell you at 8,000. So how do you eat the egg?
Well, okay, that's the peacock. You had dropped the gun a little bit and gone to the other cages.
Yeah, we had the pheasants.
Oh, the pheasants, yes.
The pheasant bantams, the Polish bantams, the Brahma bantams. These are big birds. Kama Brahma will weigh even 9 kilos. Brahmas are kept for their meat because they are very heavy.
What's the origin of because we're hearing the banter a lot. What's the origin of that?
Brahma hybrids. Okay. So you find that when they were imported, most of these are imports. Okay. Polish from Poland, Polish Bantam. It is named after the original country, Poland. That is why it is Polish. So they have those different names depending on where they came from. But you find some are very beautiful. They look like Chihuahua, that flamboyant white color. So mainly those ones are kept for beauty. Okay. Because again, you find that a farmer will find it very hard to kill such a beautiful bird for meat. Yeah, so you shy off. You will not even dare because that bird is very beautiful.
Brothers and sisters from the western regions, you come out watakubaliana na wewe.
They may not, but me, as far as I'm concerned, you find that sometimes you don't have the courage to cut the throat.
The similarity on them and now the broilers and layers, that ile kienyeji kuku yenye tutaona kwa nyumba is the very similar.
The characteristics are the same.
Are they in the same family of the chicken family?
Yes, all of these are aves. Birds are called aves. They belong to one family called the aves. It's only that we have some which are domesticated and others that are wild.
Right. So now for this ones that we talk about, particularly now for the 9 kg kind of Braham banter, if as a farmer, if I had that and I wanted to mix it with now my kienyeji cuckoos, how that going? What kind of breed will I be getting?
Like here we are trying. If you look at a Brahma, we have kept it together with a Fizonek kienyeji chicken. It will get something, a cross breed between now the kienyeji and the Brahma. But the chicken will be quite weighty.
But one will wonder, because most people do this. They have the free range, type of rearing chicken. For a 9 kg kind of a bird, wouldn't that be too much for this bird? Free range around the place, or would you prefer just to have it locked up?
That is why most of these you find them, they are caged. Yeah, because as they wander around, they lose a lot of energy and weight. Yes, though natural feeds are out there compared to the commercial feed stuff.
Okay, right. Do you, when now feeding for this, kuzipea chakula nini kama maji, and also even for the pests and diseases, how different is that from the kienyeji?
They share the same diseases. Feeding systems is the same. Kiloage is the same. Water is the same. So it's just a matter of which is which. Yeah.
Right. So now there's that, and then now you get into this cage that is near us.
This one just here
Yes.
contains the pigeon family. Like this one is the fantail, the tail that looks like a fan. Pigeons are a very funny animals and very holy. They are holy and innocent.
Yes.
That is why they normally depict peace.
Yes.
Those people who are very peaceful at homes, they like keeping pigeons in small cages. So here we have a family of very interesting pigeons, because the males are supposed, in pigeons, males make the nests.
Okay.
Then the female will come and lay eggs. Once the eggs are laid for incubation, the male starts now to lay on the eggs. Even if you make the artificial nest, they will still come and add some ingredients so that it may appear natural.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Naturally, for pigeons, why do people really, apart from the beauty aspect of it?
Yeah, normally pigeons are kept because of that beauty and that element of depicting peace.
The eggs?
The most nutritious bit is the white one.
Interesting.
In fact, you are supposed to throw away the yellow and take the white. Yeah, white is very nutritious. Yeah. Then from there we have the vulturines.
Okay. Before that, there's also the...
Oh, the ring-neck pheasant.
Yes.
Ring-neck pheasant is also kept for beauty. And so far you have realized that male birds are very beautiful.
Yes.
Compared to the females. Because it's the male that attracts the female.
In that case, there are two of them, the male as well as the female.
Yes, we have the male and the female. So that one is a very wild bird and kept mainly for that beauty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
At home. So they are usually kept for those purposes. And again, they also help others to detect the prey. The moment they see a hawk, they'll produce a very wild noise, very sharp. Others will run away. Same case applies when somebody with bad intentions visits you. It will still make that persistent noise. Yeah. So it's a very, very interesting bird. Then we have the guinea fowls. Guinea fowls are the common kangas, and their meat is very delicious, very sweet meat. So most people also take it ceremoniously when they have big ceremonies, because it is also rare meat.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other?
I think we have exhausted the list. Yeah.
You had mentioned quails and I'd be interested in this. I haven't seen...
Yeah, here we don't have the quails.
But if someone was quite interested, as you're saying, there's a time, some years way back, it was the trend of taking
everybody wanted to rear.
Yes,
to rear quails.
Everyone wanted to rear quails.
Yes.
If we were to go back to that, or rather even for the farmers who are still in that, what would you advise them? How quails are comparing to other birds?
I would not like to mention that, because you know what the story that went behind the quail. That even today, when you want to start any other program, people will always ask you, do you want to start another quail program? Yeah. So quails, the quail business has been actually mud-sling, such that nobody feels interested. But I hear there are those two people who are persistent and they are still making money out of that. Yeah. I think we entered into that business without information. Knowledge is very important when you are keeping birds. Yes.
Still on just generally for ornamental birds, what is that one thing that people should always remember?
Well, the most important thing is ask yourself a question. Why do I want to keep them? You must analyze your needs and wants. Then you can see the enclosure to avoid droughts and weed.
I can even see how, it's a bit slanted.
Yes.
The surface of it.
So that it is easy to clean.
Okay.
Yeah. You collect any debris, any leftovers, they are collected on the gutter, and then they are swept and kept away from the birds.
And I love the fact that you brought up the whole architectural structures of for birds, and this also goes to the kienyeji style.
Yes.
Because I've had conversations with a number of farmers who really confess that wanakuga na shida when it comes to venye watajengea nyumba ya kuku yao.
Yes.
You know, what are the do's and don'ts? I mean, you had started alluding to some of them.
For example,
when building this, yes.
Yes. For example, many people will not do storage buildings for poultry because of the ammonia element. Because this the feces from the chicken produce a lot of ammonia, and when they inhale, it is going to affect the birds. They suffer from ailments like pneumonia. They get choked and die. That is why we are separating now using the polythene, so that those ones are on the lower floor. There is no way in which the feces will contaminate with what is on the upper floor. And again, the emission of the gases. Ammonia will not penetrate up the floors.
So this kind of a structure goes for all types of birds that you decide to have?
All types. If you want, depends on your pocket, because it's also expensive. Because this lower compartment is another cage by itself. And people may find it a bit waste of material. And material means money. So not many farmers will adapt to this kind of a structure. But it is advisable. Yeah, if you want to be a smart farmer, you have to do smart structures for your animals.
Right. Last words for the viewers. Just looking at the camera in front of you and advising them the whole purpose and advantages of getting into this before we wrap it up.
Well, agriculture, normally we say agriculture is money in the pocket. And mainly, if you look at what we are doing here, we have two major elements. One, we enlighten and teach, the teaching purpose. And secondly, we also do agri-tourism, where people come and see what they can go to see in Nairobi. Definitely, they pay something small. And at the end of the day, I get something in my pocket. So agriculture is cool. Let people come and learn, because we welcome all farmers to come and learn so that they can go and start. And especially our youth. They should not, they should remove that mentality that agriculture is dirty.
Would you advise the young people to get into ornamental birds
very much,
as a form of making money?
Very much. These are not the days when you find that in our syllabus, the agriculture books, a farmer was drawn with tattered clothes and a hoe on the shoulder. Yes. Agriculture these days is very, very attractive, very cool.
Someone who looks
and
like
very,
you, smartly dressed.
This is it. This is it. So majenzi wakuje tulime na tuanze na ornamental birds, because there is money in ornamental birds.
Thank you very much, Mwalimu. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you for the class. Yeah, kutufunza all about ornamental birds. We rarely talk about this kind of birds. We focus on the kienyeji, broilers and layers, zile kuku ziko pale kwa nyumba, ama wale kuku wako pale kwa nyumba. But then, this particular episode just focusing on ornamental birds, the ducks, turkeys, you name it. Thank you very much, Mwalimu. Thank you very much to you, back at home, wherever you've been watching us from. Our SMS number is 22047. Our WhatsApp number 0793 267 279. What you need to do is tell us where you are. Kuna ukulima inaendelea na unataka usaidizi. Tuambie, tutakusaidia. Hapa every single week on Agri Talk Morning Cafe. I'm Yusuf Stanley Nyarungita. Till next week.